All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. Fucking live. Super live. Definitely force quit that. Now we wait. I'm trying to get the chat pulled up right now. Bing bong. Super live. Hey, Sultan. My man. I feel like this is going to be a super janky live stream. It took me a really long time just to figure out audio routing and everything, but let's do what we can. Welcome, welcome. I hope everything looks and sounds good so far. Oh my god, that's splashed everywhere. That's okay. Soda water's clean. All right. I got the chat here on another laptop. Hopefully it's not like dropping frames. Where else should I post this? Dude, it's been so long since I've done a stream. Hopefully I still got the sauce. I mean, it's actually literally been like 2 or 3 years. Cool. Let's do a little sound check. Yeah? Some sounds. Make sure I have to, like, if I want to play anything out of my computer audio, I got to switch the Soundflower to something like this. And we have a god in our presence. Sultan is in the chat. Everything I do, he's going to have a better way to do it. So he's been helping me with some really good feedback and shit. I'm actually using this sub trick he showed me. Let's listen to this thing I'm working on right now. But definitely going to chill for a little bit, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes, let people cruise in. I have a total of no uploads and I don't really have any subscribers yet, so let's let it settle.
Will all who wish to die please raise their hands?
Sultan collab is done and it's fire. I will save the stream, yeah. We'll see how it goes. As long as I don't mess something up. I'm not really familiar with YouTube. I know it's way different. Is that too loud? I was testing it earlier like so many times and I think I got the balance decent between my voice and the sound, but if it sounds too crazy. Welcome. How do I see how many people are in here? Sounds mint. Loud is good. We like loud. Look, I even have it turned down 5 dB. If you want like loud, we can get there. Welcome. What's up, spacesuit? All right. Do you guys have any questions while we're chilling? Any like production, general, anything? I'm going to post this on my Instagram real quick so we can get some more people in here. Live now. Swipe up. Yeah, sure. Drum processing. I've always kind of had the same drum processing I had in like the other Upsound videos I've done, and you know, the other live streams I did back in the day, where it was just like glue compressor, full parallel, and some transient shaping. I really like the kilohertz transient shaper. It's like insanely, I don't know. I don't even think I'm using it here. I'm just doing some group processing. And then like, I don't really even have anything on the kicks except for the transient shaper, but it's like, I don't know, adds a lot. It just seems really reactive to me. I get good results to it. I find myself getting a lot of plugins, and then I find myself reusing a lot of kilohertz stuff just because it's so effective. Cool. That's a good question. I like that one. The filling space in my pre-drops, because this is something I have a lot of fun with. And in this case, like obviously we have this vocal here that I got off of Splice. It says blind sound, I think. I have a couple layers on this, like one lower. Here's the main layer. I have some soft OTT on here. The mid's turned off with the time up all the way. And I'm compressing it a bit. And then I think I'm doing some hyperdimension or comb filtering in here. I have some delay and hyper in here. Something I'll do with vocals too for pre-drops is I'll actually use like a comb filter with a high resonance to get like a more of a tonal delay type thing. So something like, if I was going for that vibe, which I think kind of fits here, but the delay I'm using above this is more of a actually like time-based one, you know. So, and then we have this little guy down here, and then I'll go over the surrounding elements that are kind of pushing it into the drop. This is just, I guess, more of a mid-wide layer. I love Little Alter Boy for layers. I mess with like the formant shifting a lot, and you can actually like drive stuff really hard in here. It's got a cool like crunchy algorithm to it. I could even maybe do some like formant pitching on this. That could sound cool. Kind of like it's like sweeping through with like some weird filtering or something. But yeah, without the blind sound vocal, we have a lot of like stomps and weird layered bits from Twisted Tools, stuff like that. Some really cool like whale sounds in this one almost. I might actually cut a little more of the mids and compress this to get some of those higher artifacts out. Because all that's really cool. If I did some like OTT on it maybe. Just to really bring out the minor detail stuff. Cut some of the mids. I get super kind of tunnel vision sometimes when I'm going through stuff. But yeah, a lot of stuff like that, you know. Stomps. I really like these pass by things. They're super cool because they pan around a lot. From Twisted Tools, so I use a lot of these. A lot of like virtual ride effects. I use at least 5 of his risers in every tune. I guarantee there's more in here too. But a lot of stuff like that. A lot of like bass droppy kind of spacey sounds. Yeah, it's all kind of just grouped up in the effects here. Some mechanical turns. And a lot of the times I'll take a lot of this stuff and have whatever is happening on the impact pitching down, and then stuff that's kind of coming in transposing up. So I'll even do shit like this sometimes. Oh, am I allowed to curse on YouTube? Am I going to get in trouble? That sounds cooler. Sounds more like bones breaking in a sense, but let's turn the vocal back on. Yeah, that's a lot of what I'll do with space too. And I'll do a lot of reverb automation as well. Another thing that's really important for this drop in particular is I took the first like sample and hold bass I have here. And I flattened it with a bunch of reverb, and then I have this guy. I think I stretched it like double time, because if I go over to here, it's probably... So yeah, I like to take that bit and reverse it and print it, kind of fade it in. I'll do the same thing with transposing this too, where I keep it on complex. We'll just do like an octave or two down to the root note, just so it's like landing right into the drop. So it makes it more like a riser, but it's still just kind of like, it just seems really cohesive when it hits the sound. So that's another cool technique, but yeah, I like to have fun with that, just throwing a bunch of different random effects. It's a really cool, different approach to layering stuff besides basses. Do you recommend to do a drop bass resampling technique in other DAWs? Yeah, I think it's good in any DAW. I see people use that Melda recorder, and they'll just do a sound design session and record the whole entire bit of audio. I saw Matt Zoe doing this on his live streams, and that's super smart too. Filling the frequency spectrum. There's a lot of the post-processing I do, like really pushing things hard through OTT and saturation, will like beef up a sound to fill more of the spectrum. But that's something I get stuck with too, is kind of figuring out which part of the spectrum I'm missing, whether it's like stereo or I'm pushing a sound really hard and the sound has a lot of mud. So that kind of gets in the way first before it sounds full. Having good like problem solving for stuff like that is important, but I make a lot of layers and I'll try and like fill the area that I think needs work, or I'll do really cool like background stuff. Like you can see I have a lot of background bits in here, which I'll usually make out of stuff I'm working with in the patch, or I'll like print the sub to audio and like try and do stuff with the sub. Like I think I have like this is all white noise here, which I'm like distorting through the sub, but I also have some I'm using the good old firewall hat loop here, some Sultan rides. You guys got to cop those Sultan rides if you don't have them already. I use so much of the Sultan pack too. I've actually been really big on Splice lately, but I definitely have more filler stuff in here I gotta find. I've like these string tension type things I make. This is the one from my song Movement, which are really good as well. But I like to have fun with background stuff the same way I do like the pre-drop effects type thing. And just, you can get really creative with it and stretch samples really far out and do like texture warping or complex pro, and then just mess with a bunch of different effects like comb filters or choruses and disperser. I love disperser. So poggers. Yeah, grain delay is crazy. I honestly should use that more. Be cool for layers. But whenever I'm doing layers, I like to use like crystallizer, texture warping, serum effects. In this case, I'm mainly just layering a lot of different sounds. Like I have this really fluttery guy, which has got some super weird resonances to it. It honestly sounds like kind of lame by itself. And then another patch that sounds kind of lame by itself. Just one of these, like, it's kind of like a barky bass. So these together. And then the main sample and hold sound. And some more layer stuff. This guy. So this adds a bit of like a resonant tonality to it as well. Oh, this is the thing I was talking about earlier. So I'll also take my sub and flatten it and do some redux and ring mod and a bunch of different OTTs, some mid-side OTT to make the stereo pop a little more. And then we can get more kind of different tones out of either the ring mod or the downsample settings. So if I wanted more like... This I honestly tune by ear. Like a lot of my stuff I find I have to tune by ear a lot because I do weird stuff like that. And I'll even take the audio and like always just trying to find something weird by messing around. But in this case, I think I had the ring mod on, which is the main source of tuning. Because in this section, I'm using it kind of as a really long riser. So the frequency is like slowly going up. I'm like cutting most of these lows out. But it really like drives the track in the background. This part I'm just pitching the sample and hold shit around like crazy. I have nothing on the master except for a soft clipper. But I'm also messing with a lot of these Neuro basses I make. Neuro run. So basses like these. Sorry if that's super loud. That was probably super loud. Let me turn that down in here. But ooh. I actually like to take these and I have these past the mid bass processing because I have some EQing cutting out a lot of the lows and the muds. So I like to actually take these and clip them a little bit further because they're really blown out already. So I will usually like boost the sub with a shelf. And then I take out a lot of the highs and I'll blow this out with a saturator and then OTT it and then cut. And then I like kind of clean it up a little bit more, but you can get like really crazy sounds out of this just by blowing it out, you know. And the Barely Alive dudes are incredible at doing shit like this. It's kind of how I got it a little more dialed in, was watching their live streams. I've honestly been really, really wanting to get on my YouTube stuff, but I had this 1 month off tour and have been mainly just buckling down on writing and finishing music because I was really uninspired for a long time. So this is kind of me plunging myself back into more production-based stuff. Sorry if I missed any questions. Yeah, ring mod. What's up, Kill Feed? This dude's been killing it. Yeah, that's a Kilohertz thing. But yeah, let's mess with this thing, see if I can get a cool bass out of it. So I like to even like further mess with like, I'll turn the loop on so I can kind of find the spot I want to mess with. Sometimes I'll do crazy pitching. You can get like really tear, like Reese Neuro sounding stuff by even stretching these and messing with texture and stuff. But yeah, check out some of these I have in the patch currently. Is some portal glitches I have too. Like I just have a insane batch of like stuff. I just have had a lot of sound design days because I wasn't crazy inspired on writing stuff, so I still like to like create stuff like this. So they're super weird and they don't sound as usable as they are. But in this case, like I'm using just cuts for growls on the turnaround. which are super low mid resonant, but I just cut everything else pretty much. So they take up a lot of the, this one got a little bit of rhythm to it because I took one of the sample and hold sounds here and actually did some like filter automation on it, I think. Some like really whippy low pass. I should like something like that maybe. Yeah, so I like these basses for fills. On this whole turnaround, I have the drum switch up with it too. Peep out the second drop really quick.
Will all who wish to die please raise their hands?
This is the part I was actually working on before I went live. Just kind of filling these little gaps in between the... So it's a lot of reverb automation on the group here even. I have like... I have like some different reverbs and like chorus, like the Yo Man I have set to like a really high feedback. And then I'm doing some delay on that to get kind of like a tonal throw out of it. That one sounds cool. Maybe I could automate that to like fall down here. Something like that. I can get really picky with kind of minor details like that, and I don't like to get too tunnel vision. There's a lot more going on in this part, I think, because I actually resampled the really fast sample and hold bass, and I'm doing some like a parallel of it and octave up with complex warping to kind of, I guess, give it a little more air, it sounds like. And then more of those Neuro things just kind of whipping in, which gives it more like a, just accents like that. I always use a lot of shit like that. Damn. Already convinced you to get out of FL. Nice. Oh, we got Effin in this bad boy. I'm about to be meeting up with him on tour. It's gonna be crazy. Some little zappy accents. I've been using this same zap sample, you know, the Tisoki laser. I have like so many different. So I usually just take a normal like cut of it like this. But I love like just like going over the top on messing with stuff like this. Like I'll put a few dispersers or something. OTT and saturator. Let's just blow it up. I love the Melda saturator. Something Nasco showed me. Sometimes I'll even automate one of the bands on the disperser or do like step sequencing with it. Something weird. So you can get like almost like Valley EQ movements out of it sometimes. We could like vocode it, but something like that. Because it's getting really... And then take out a little bit of that weird muddiness. Maybe put another Yo Man. I have this rack I made where I'm separating the tops and the mids so the lows come out clean. And then I have the crossover set here, and the high band has a Yo-Man with like really low frequency on it, or feedback, sorry. And it just gives the top end like that. It's way more noticeable on like a, let's pull in one of those like Neuro sounds I was talking about. Something like this. Put this on here and it should make it. Oh no, we're lagging. It's happening. I knew it would come to this. Is this where I have to start freezing everything? Is it going to be one of those streams? Oh wait, I actually kind of want to hear this laser. That might even work better because this other one's kind of like busy. It's changing around. Or I could use them both. Fuck it. Let's freeze some stuff. I think almost everything's frozen. And then I can go look at the chat. I had a Spaghetti collab. It's like a year or two ago. But we both decided we could do something way better. So it's just a matter of time. I'm really wanting to do a lot of collabs, but I have so much on my plate, and I'm not as efficient with writing with the time that I have as I used to be. Like, it used to be my main hustle. I would wake up and write all day, and I would have this huge back catalog of music. But now I find myself, like, the inspiration is a little more spare. So I've been doing really good in the past couple of weeks, but I'm still just in catch-up mode, which is really stressful because I feel like I just have a never-ending to-do list. Yeah, I can show how I make some of those. Oh, let me get cozy. Yeah, let me rinse the rest of this second drop for you guys, and we'll see if the CPU can handle it. And then I can make some of those Neuro basses from scratch. We have no agenda here. I just decided, like, I was going to go live on my Instagram and show new music. And then I was like, if I'm going to go live, like, I might as well do some production stuff, because I never really get to talk production or, you know, nerd out like this how I used to. And I like teaching, so.
Will all who wish to die please raise their hands?
This is my favorite part when I kind of take these little gaps and start like really putting those Neuro sounds to work. This one, like, fading in, is one of my favorites. It kind of like burps in the beginning, but this is also like one of those. I remember doing something cool with these. So to get all of the tone out of this, look at this. I'm like doing some weird, actually I'm doing like grain size, because I have this stretched 3 times. So it's at 600 beats per minute and then pitched up to 7, flux all the way down, in the grain size at around 50. But you can see I can get a lot of like. Ooh, I kind of like it a little higher. And I kind of made a little motif out of this, like, so that all kind of flows on this little fill here with the another one. I just love having these to cut up, and I can kind of just keep it on loop mode and like. I kind of like that. And just one single boy. Demonetize me, YouTube. See if I care. Some reverse glass. I reuse a lot of the same cymbal loops, and I'll like layer them. I have some somatic samples, some decap samples, some Sultan samples, but the main thing kind of driving it is, I guess, this like, there's a couple of the cymbals from Firewall. I know this has other things in it, like more like rhythms, but I just like cut up a few of the cymbals I liked, and then all of this is being sidechained as well. I don't know why there's only one ride every couple bars. It's just me. This is like a really new song, so just messing with that. But still a little messy. But it's coming together really quick. A little drum pull action. I use Volume Shaper for sidechain. Y'all want to see this curve? Want to see this sweet, sweet curve? Look at that. Copy it. Study it. Become one with the curve. How did I make the bass for Firewall? The bass for Firewall... I think it was something. I'm gonna do a really like bootleg version of what I think it was. I know it was something a bit unorthodox. Like it was mostly off of the resonance on the filter, but I know I was using one of the VR tables and FMing it with like a crazy high pitched saw wave. It was like a single cycle one. I remember, because I couldn't really mess with it anymore. But anyways, for now we can just use something basic, like I really like the phase verb. It was something with a lot of like more mid frequencies like this, and then a lot of FM from a saw wave, but it was like not only 4 octaves up, 5 octaves up. It was actually like aliasing really high, because I was using the LFO to like crank the sync too. Hopefully this doesn't. So it was something like that where I got a little bit of like squeak out of it, but the tuning was really particular. It was something like even higher pitched, where it was getting a weird like overtone on it, and then a lot of it was from, I think, like a really high resonant low pass filter, which is a lot of like kind of what I'm doing with the really gun bass in this one, is like a lot of it's just really resonant. Something like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to save this stream. And then I had comb filtering too. This was just kind of on one LFO. So when you distort a sound like this with a lot of peaks, you get the pleasantries out of it. It's a really weird way to use that word. As you can see, I still use Command F religiously. I don't ever click to search for anything. I'm always like Command F, OTT. Bam, drop it in. Boom, Firewall VIP incoming. But for real, Firewall VIP incoming. This is weird. I gotta do more things. It was bandpass or something? Or high pass? It was like this, yeah. So I made like several layers of this same sound, mainly just like I would take the high bass and print it. I like to resample like directly from the channel I'm working on, so it bypasses any group processing or like the soft clipper on the master, even stuff like that. So this is going to the mids, which is why it got turned down so much. But if it goes to the sidechain bus like the 12 serum I got it in from, it should be completely identical. So now we can actually maybe make a cool like texture layer out of this. Same thing I did before. I just like to double time it, stretch it. Maybe use crystallizer. And set the dry wet to 100% wet. Turn off the MIDI sync and kind of mess with the... I don't know. Sometimes I'll just sit there and mess with that for too long. But it was something like that. Don't want to get too tunnel visioned on that. I have no drum processing other than transient shaping. I just use good samples. It does sound kind of hydraulic. Cool. I'm going to work on this a little bit. If it doesn't lag super hard, let me close out of Google Chrome. Boom. That should help a little bit. Also going to turn on the air conditioning in here. Because MacBooks thermal throttle really hard. So if my MacBook gets hot, it will pretty much just stop working. See, I was working on this part right here. I want to fix up this transition a little bit. So I added this like layer to the vocal here, but it's way too much. I think it's a ring mod. So I always have this utility on my master that I pop into mono when I'm doing a lot of mix down stuff. In this case, like if I wanted to figure out which version of this I want to be a little more stereo. I guess the Alter Boy is adding a lot of stereo, so we can try and do something like this. Let me show you how it's done. Let's also group this up and compress these together. Oh, those are going to the master. So send these to the group and then send the group to the master. I do a lot of weird routing. Sometimes I like bone myself in the mixdown process. I'll be Let me show you how it's done. Really confused. Let me show you how it's done. And then one general mud removing EQ. Let me show you how it's done. Let me show you how it's done. I just want it to be, I want it to be like very backgroundy, but I also think I need another like sweeper impact here. Or like a sweep up. Let's do some sort of downbeat here. Stomp. I love the decap stuff. Oh man. Is it here? I want to use more of these pass by effects. I spam them. This one's cool. Let's give that a little reverb automation into the break so it's not as abrupt. I hope the fan isn't super annoying in the background.
Please raise their hands.
I want this a little louder. So I'm going to open this filter up a little more. I think my favorite EP I had done is the Metropolis one with Take It All and Firewall. I had so much fun writing those songs. And they came together really quick. It was really natural. Let's do some transposition. I find good vocals in acapellas and splice packs, or I record my own. But that's never not cringe. It's always cringe. At least to me. Only to me, like hearing my own voice. Like Skullcrack is my voice, but I think it sounds cringe. This sounds a little better being pitched up like that. I'm already cold as shit.
Will all who wish to die please raise their hands?
There's a lot of clipping from the Neuro basses, but I fucking love it. It's a bit much on this specific one. I think the sub might be going at the same time. Nope, just really, really loud. I think it's because the Portal one has low end too. Yeah. Jesus. That's so much. I'm keeping it. No, I'll turn this one down a little more. I sometimes I find a cool vocal on Splice and you can do they have a feature on there. It's like see more sounds like this. That helps sometimes. But if there's anything you guys want to see, if you want me to do some sound design from scratch or go over post-processing or, you know, make some of these Neuro sounds, I can try. I haven't made a batch like this in a while, but it's super fun. And I do it all with audio, actually. A lot of these come from either like bass one-shots of mine or just sine waves, like sine compression. I might have some. Yeah, I don't know. But I have so many in my catalog now. Like if you type in Portal, or even if you just type in Comp, like look at this library. Look at that. It just keeps going. These are glitches. I wonder. These are like very buff eatery. weird. And a lot of these ADGs, these are all like fully processed serum racks with, you know, everything ready to go. I actually find these very usable. I used to use these alien ones the most. But now I'm on to the Neuro and Portal ones. I think the Portal ones are my favorite. It's a lot of disperser and vocoder and OTT, and then I print it and stretch it. And I don't make any bass glitches in Serum. If I do, I'm gonna... I mean, we can. But it would be me making some sort of weird sound in Serum and then printing it and kind of like doing the post-processing and stretching with that signal more than actually using Serum itself. I don't really aim for anything in LUFS. I kind of do it all by ear. I never really check that metering wise. I check my RMS just because that's what I'm used to. Bass layering, in this case, I'm doing like quite a bit of layering. But in this case, I think I was mostly just throwing sounds in. I started with like these two. Or in this case, I think they're better back here. And then I was like, you know, experimenting with the top end, which is when I landed on more sample and hold shit. And I have like a bunch of different variations of the patch that are kind of moving around. As you can see, the mids group is like a little bit hefty, not as hefty as my like normal dubstep tunes are. This one's like a bit more simple, but it all came together really cool. Yeah, let's see if there's anything else I want to do to this one.
Will all who wish to die please raise their hands?
I kind of want this like pitching here, but it's like in this case, what I did to get this transition was I just resampled the basses soloed and just pitched them up in audio with a bunch of washout just to push it into the next section. And the intro and everything is really eerie. It's a lot of like contact stuff, but I took that main sample and hold sound and kind of made this like, I want to say melody with it, but it's really just a super stretched grain. Like I'm doing like grain automation on it to get it to kind of feel like it's deteriorating as the intro is coming. The low mid power is coming from saturation and OTT. It's just falling apart. And then I actually printed that and brought it into a sampler when I did like looping. I'm gonna actually bring this up a little bit. So it's kind of a cool transition. And then I have these guys filtering in as well. I reference mixdowns all the time. I feel like referencing mixdowns is totally fair and normal, and everyone does it. It's when you're like directly ripping an idea on purpose, you know. A lot of the times I'll even like start with messing around, trying to replicate someone else's idea, and then you kind of have the foundations for a track, and you can kind of go in and be a little more creative with it, and even swap out all the sounds and all the rhythmic elements. But once you get it like full and sounding good, it's a lot easier to do that. The sub, I have this rack called Sub Hub on there that Adair gave me, but it's pretty chill. It's just like a plain sine wave, but some sauce that Leno gave me. I think he shows it in his live streams, but if he doesn't, I don't want to piss him off. These need to cut here. Yeah, this transition's sounding a little better, I think. I think it needs a little more. Like, I literally just need like a transition element. So when I do, I just type in transition and use like Cashmere stuff. Subhub. The Burlington Kyle factory. Why are you guys looking at my secret folders? The busback project would just implode upon opening. It's way too big. I'm gonna open a new project and we can make some sounds. I probably won't do a super long live stream today, just because I don't have anything planned and I don't want to be sitting here like doing nothing. But I pretty much have the same template I've always had. The trigger and the bus, the drums, you know, everything's down -15. And then 15 up on the master. Just gives me a lot of headroom within the group. And I actually added this utility on my master that solos the sides, which is really helpful. You not have anything panned or mixed right now. No, that one was mixed. I don't really pan very much. Make some old bro step. It's the Burlington Coat Factory, man. 10-hour stream. Let's do it. Marathon stream. Bass arrangement. I don't really know what to do for that. It's cool to like beatbox out a rhythm you really like and just recreate the sounds, you know. Let's make some weird shit. We can start with Serum. How's this sound? I still really like these FM tables. I just kind of rediscovered them. Whoa. That looks like it's going to sound obnoxious, but it could be good for making weird stuff. Let's actually put something really easy in here, simple, and we'll FM it with one of those crazy ones. I'm getting cold, but my laptop is cold too, which is good, because then it won't freak out as much. Help with intros. I mean, knowing some music theory is really good, even if it's just really minimal stuff. But start with a lot of pads and maybe like a progression. And if you don't have Contact, I'd highly recommend getting Contact or Omnisphere, because it just is like makes writing intros really smooth, and I feel like I don't have to spend a bunch of time picking the right sound. Like everything kind of lands and feels nice. But these are cool. Let's check it out. So I'm just going to make one long MIDI note right now. and we'll draw a bunch of weird automations. Let's just start a journey of sound design together. I have no idea where this is going or if it's going to be good or not. But maybe we can get another batch of portal sounds or Neuro basses. I will save the stream. Just something really long and weird. Move this around. Too fast. And pass. Let's just blow it out. Let me know if it gets too loud. I'm not like super in track of gain staging and stuff right now. Especially when I get really creative, I like to like throw different ideas and stuff like that in my effects chain and layers and stuff like that. So we're going to try and get some weird audio signal that we can mess with here. So let's do something like this. I don't know. Give it more pinch. Or we can automate the pinch too. So we'll just be getting progressively more dispersed. And some pitch automation. I normally don't approach writing glitches this way, but I mean, that's kind of like glitches in their own. Like, you got to have a weird approach to doing them. Let's distort this peak of the bandpass. Oops, I can't touch that. It's being automated. It's kind of cool. It's getting loud. A little weird. I wonder if we can automate the FM amount. Do something crazy. Course pitch? Sure. All the way. That might be too much. Do some bend. Cool. Let's print this. So I'm just going to duplicate it, freeze and flatten it. And I kind of work in this like stepping stone way for glitches and sometimes just sound design sessions in general. See what we got here. I like to take a good look at the waveform. This doesn't look like anything too crazy, honestly. Let's do some cool like frequency shifting, something like that. Give it a little bit of fine tune. Kind of have the dry wet automating around. Who knows what's going to happen next? And then let's vocode it. Take out some of these. This might lose a lot of the mids and stuff, so let's just blow it back up. Maybe some filtering after the vocoder, perhaps. Really just drawing random shapes. I have no plan here. Cool. Let's start blowing it out. Actually, let's do a portal run. So for this next part, it can go a lot of different ways. Like I've had a lot of these resamplings I just like end up deleting, but I'll just like loop this a bunch of times. And we'll put a disperser. We'll put some weird stuff like disperser. One more OTT. Let's put a portal before all of this. And then let's just go through some presets in the either the sound design or the glitchy ones, the bass ones. It's honestly really touchy. And I've made a few of my own presets. I don't know if it ever saved, but it's in a project file. Like I have a lot of project files I'll go back to when I want to do sound design like this, but it's also really fun to do from scratch. So see if we can find a good preset in here. And honestly, I'm just going to record and bounce around through presets. And let's get this in from this and bada boom. Start getting crazy. Getting weird. The panning. That's sick. Okay, cool. Pretty good run, honestly, like right off the bat. We don't have to get too resample-y right now because I've honestly gotten super stoned and gotten stuck in my headphones just doing that, just making faces for like hours. It does sound like diarrhea, you know, but in a good way, in a cool way, in a funky, fresh way. Sometimes sound design, you gotta get a little wacky, a little goofy, get a little kooky. Look at all this gold. And then a lot of the time I'll rinse and repeat the same kind of stuff. But I mean, if you listen to a lot of these cuts, you can do some shit. So let's like blow it out again, like I was saying. So EQ, give that low end some love. Let's notch out some of the really muddiness, and let's also shelf the highs because we're gonna, you know, where's that dirty little 7? Prepare for explosion. We'll probably do some more filtering in between here too. All right. So I'm going to duplicate this and turn this one off, delete all of this, and kind of just like drag down little parts I want to mess with. And we can even throw some like notching probably on like this area, just like mess around. Cool. Man, it can get crazy after this. I'll stretch the whole sample, go into texture. And just kind of start cutting out loops. Or I look for really low end spots like these, you know, where you... Ooh! And there we have it. So this one is actually panning around a lot. So what I'm going to do is try and get a good like mono bounce of this. And I can just give it the old render. Desktop. Render Douglas. So, and now I'm just on a rampage of resampling. Messing with different warp modes, you know. Sometimes I'll do like really crazy transposition. I really like to hold down Option and I can just scroll through the whole thing too. Get this back in the filtering because that notch filter does quite a bit. Let's find cooler bits. A lot of the time I like more like resonant subby stuff just because I can get really Neuro-y bits out of it. What is this gargle? Sounds like a... See, this could be cool. If I were to kind of run it through the same processing again. So sometimes it just be like that. It's such a weird waveform. But, you know, this is how it goes in the glitch world. Sometimes I'll get really cool sounds like when I get a really unique waveform, I can often get really cool like textures out of it. Like stuff like this. Maybe like some bandpass or something on this. Yeah, I don't know. Could be cool. I don't play piano, so I can't do that. Yeah, but it's generally the process. These guys are cool. Maybe I can bring them down in this bottom one and see if anything happens. This guy's got to be moving, though. even this whole spot, I could probably make some weird like fill out of it. But you can see, like, if I go into my Neuro thing, it's mainly just me finding my favorite cuts. Like even this. It's pretty cool. The loop function is just really helpful for this kind of a workflow. Bass shots for days. That's a really cool one. Bass shot 2. And I just like keep rendering them and then I folder them. Try a disperser at the beginning of this. Evil laughter. I have these sessions a lot more often when I'm uninspired. I never really get full-blown song ideas off of them, but then I have just a bunch of ammo for fills mainly and layers. Like these are surprisingly cool to layer. This one has that nice like low end I'm talking about. Where I can do the same process. Take out a lot of the highs. Then we explode it. We can even mess with the like depth of the mess around with the saturator a bit more. Let's filter it. It's always good to like filter a lot with these kind of basses too. That's cool. I like this first bit. You can even like make it a little cooler with some reverb automation. But it's just so aggressively clipping. But that's how those other sounds were in the like whip I was messing with. It's very Terry. Maybe? Cool stuff. Kompany jerseys. It's a good idea. Yeah, do you guys have any more questions with weird glitch basses? I'll even take these and... Dude, you can even take this and put it back in the portal and then just go back into resampling. That one's like super diarrhea. But you know, even a cut like that, I would use that, you know? We can even automate this boy. You know, the more automation stuff like that, the better. We can go into the EQ here and use some of these boys. I guess an OE would sound good. So I like to turn off the... Well, not turn off this one. I'll switch it to a notch or a bell, whatever. And then you can modulate the scale around. And then now that I have this spot with like some automation here, let's do something like more like low to high, maybe. There's nothing cooler to me with like than like a bunch of really cool EQ movements and stuff like that going on. What else can we do? Serum effects. You can definitely do something in here. Let's use band reject. Got some resonance, and let's do some modulation, automation on the width here. Cool. Now I can just literally bounce a bunch of different cuts in this little section. Because I can just go in and press loop. And now we have... The band reject is giving it just a very forced tonality, so I would have to do like different... What's cool is you can put actually like a LFO here with a random amount. Oh dear. I forget how to use this. Random. And then map it to this. That's a lot. There's a lot going on right there. I don't know if I like that. Made something angry. Oh, it's the air conditioning. Cool. Fun stuff. Thanks, LFO. That was great. Yeah, fucking get out of here. Fuck, we can even mess with this a little more. Yeah, it's whatever. Hard style? 150? Let's get it. I haven't messed with Homicide. I've heard it's really cool. I couldn't really make a drop with these, but I could definitely use them in a drop like really easily. And like right now, I'm not going to take the time to, but I'm definitely going to go through this later and cut out my favorite bits. I even find like really percussive bits really helpful. So I'll probably get a lot of good stuff out of here, honestly. And I'll probably put it in a splice pack for you guys. Because I feel like these kind of sounds are really fun to use. High-pitched legato basses. I did some of that earlier. I went over the firewall bass, but those are pretty easy. It's just like FMing with a really high octave on oscillator B. And it's all up on the live stream. I'm going to save it so you can just go back and rewatch that section. I didn't make like the craziest bass out of it, but you know, it's good stuff. How long have you been streaming for? I could even do like a little bit of a feedback stream later, but I'm probably going to call this one soon. If you guys have any closing questions or things you'd like to see before I wrap up, maybe I can like play some new stuff. I actually really like to use the aggressive low mids to like have these cut through in the mixdown. I'll have them bypass like all the group processing and stuff like that, and use them kind of like as accents, you know, almost like the percussive laser thing, like the choo choo. I'll take like bits like this for that instead. I'll even just take it and pitch it around. I just feel like they're so much fun to mess with when it comes to doing further audio sound design. Take off your hoodie. I'm cold. Why would I take off my hoodie? I'm cold. Have you guys seen that cat? I love that cat. I'm cold. I can play some clips. There's something I want to play, but I can't pull up the name of it. But I can pull up the project file. Don't look, don't look, don't look. Everybody look away. Nothing to see here. Whoa, almost blew it. I want to save this. Glitches from LS. LS stands for Livestream. Big brain. Shorten my project files, you know. Don't look, don't look. Look away, look away. Mind your business. Oh. I looked. Varix has been banned from the stream. This is a revived collab from like almost 2 years ago, but I went in on it. It's sounding nuts. I'm just going to play short clips. I want to get stuff out of my Dropbox, but if I open that up, you know what? You guys are getting... Oh. Can you see? Is that working? I'm going to shut you guys out. Sneaky snakes trying to get into my Dropbox. You guys are something else. Oh shit. It's not live on my... Okay. And we're back! Just like that. It's a really old project file, but no pre-drop yet. Let's just give it a quick little rinse. It's gonna be loud. Don't rip it. So this is the jam where I would Start throwing some Neuro shit. Yeah, and you can see when I search in my ALS for these too, there's all the freezes of them. You can see I even used one in this song as like a yoink layer for the good old yup 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 yup. You like my beatbox interpretation? But this one's actually ended up being pitched up. So it's more of a tonal layer, but you can see we got a lot of tonality stuff going on here. All right. Yeah, I was using a Yuki reference track in this like 2 years ago, but I ended up kind of referencing more of my newer E-flat stuff. All right. So let me open up a project file where I can just load in some clips for you guys. You can hear the new stuff I'm working on. Oh, I can show you guys that little phone tap drum and bass thing I'm working on. One wonky day. It's something weird. I had a really weird like sound design session. Pretty sure it's this. The low end was pretty much the same as the other tunes, you know, just a sine wave and then a couple different layers of distortion. What's up, Cyclops? Thank you guys for all chilling, by the way. This is such a random stream, so I appreciate everyone tuning in. It'll probably be the first thing chilling up on my YouTube, so I'll definitely do more in the future with more of an agenda, you know, things I'll go over, but I'm kind of just chilling, going through stuff, and worked on another project earlier. It'll all be able to view. So yeah, this one was fun. This one was fun and really weird because all the main basses were like, look at these resonances. It's actually just like really crazy ring mod and stuff, I think. Yeah, ring mod moving around, so I can get a lot of different timbres out of this. Oh shit, I think this is the 150 version. Because I made a dubstep drop of this too. Yeah, this one's cool too. I'm going to make this one like not a phone tap thing, and then the drum and bass one's going to be a phone tap thing. I'm going to have the little firewall layer in here. See, in this case, we need some spice. So let's go ahead and... using the same sub I use in bus back here. Let's send this to the sidechain because I'm too lazy to move it to the mids group. And that's how we're gonna get crazy right now. I'm gonna do that redux thing I did earlier. OTT weird? Sure. OTT normal? Yeah. Mid-side? Bring it on. Now we gotta tune it. Let's make this stereo. 'Cause it's like completely mono right now. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of Haas effect. And then kilohertz stereo, which is like, you can pretty much do the same thing with the Ableton utility, but Push it a little harder on the sides. And I'm going to take this same sub and group it up with some white noise. And then we'll get into the drum and bass folder because, you know, give me that pixel white noise. Shout out to Pixel Terror. Group up the sub and the white noise. So when the sub and the white noise is grouped up together, when you distort it, you'll get a lot more cromch. I came to get some cromch. And then we're going to cut all the lows out and use this as like a blown out layer. Again, we're going to stereo this a bit. So this stuff should all make a really like big difference on this legato part, which is the part that needed the most work. So without the things I just added, it's like this. And now it's like this. But this guy needs to be tuned. Cool. I'll save that, and yeah, it's a cool one. But all of these sounds are really weird because they're all like from this glitchy sine thing. I don't know about this one. Dinosaurs. Okay. Not a very cool sound, but whatever. These ones are my favorite just because of these EQs. Like I just screenshotted this and sent it to a few people. I was like, check this post-processing change. Oh, it's dead. What happened? Why you die? Drum and bass edition. Don't look. Kompany X Barely Alive. I'll only collab with fake Barely Alive. No way. Barely Alive sick. Those EQs are hilarious. So this is the same project file coming in that I flipped a little drum and bass thing of it. Actually had a lot of fun. It's definitely super whippy. Reloading. Started streaming 90 minutes ago. Maybe I'll try and go for like 2 hours and then call it. I hope watching back this wasn't all like super worthless. I hope there's some useful stuff on here. Could you show you how you program the sidechain bus? So it's super easy. I have one audio channel that's set to in where all my groups are set to go to that. Oh, that already sounds kind of confusing the way I described it. And then I have a trigger with an external instrument that just sends the MIDI to that. So every time it gets a trigger, it's gonna sidechain anything going through. 175, 74. I'm trying to use the phone, but I'm trying to use it very fast.
I'm trying to use that.
It's super scrambled. Like mostly, this part is mostly me just trying to find phrasings that I like. So I'm mostly like doodling. A lot of like fills aren't done yet. One thing that really filled this out for me was I think it was like a Teddy Killers loop. Where is it? Where is that bad boy? It's kind of like a Philly boy. one Philly boy, a Whitey boy. Here it is. So I took this FX, which originally sounded like this, which is cool. It's like very metal, but I just like made it into like a, it's almost like a ride, but like it just drives the stereo really hard. It's very dissonant sounding. It's like it sounds like the psycho strings a little bit with some crystallizer here. Just kind of just retuning it. But my favorite part is the little wonky Neuro bit.
Very impressive. I can
Because this was all just me messing with super mangled audio. It's down 4 octaves almost. I don't know why it sounds the way that it sounds. More little Teddy Killers loops, because I was like, fuck, I'm in 174. I got to use some Teddy Killers stuff. But this is all still really messed with. So an example, someone was asking earlier how I would use some of the bass shots that I had made. Like, let's pull some of them in. And let's set these two just go straight to the sidechain. And I'm actually going to find like a little percussive bit of one of these. Louder. Maybe this part. So I kind of like will trim it like this. Ooh, this one's cool. Cool. So I'll take like a cut like that. And I'll get like a meld saturator. You know? Right away she blown out. So it adds that sikum. Like it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like drummer intuition. It's kind of like hitting a tom, but the tom is just like the most fucked up Neuro sound ever. Like, so I could do something like that, which would be cool. Cool. I mean, there's more stuff I can hop through, definitely, but it's kind of a good way of showing how I would implement a sound like that. But this honestly needs a little more like it needs like a boom boom tip boom. So maybe it would sound better with that there. A little pluckier though. It's more like too growly. Yeah, something like that's cool. And I can always just go through on the second part and use a different cut, so. Cool. And save. See, we're just bouncing in project to project. Some gas, some fire. you guys want to hear something pretty? Something gorgeous? TSI come with the K though, you know, so it's on brand. As a drummer, I get this all the time when I produce, but just haven't known how to make those sounds till now. Oh, for sure. I'm glad that's helpful, man. You can really like use a bunch of different things there. It's all about just experimenting and blowing things out. I mean, it doesn't really matter if my EP's on Disciple or Never Say Die or self-released. It's going to be my like same style no matter what. So, you know, doesn't really matter who much like who I release with as much, just as long as like it's going to be me, you know? Like I just hope people think the same way. I love working with Tynan. He's a badass. Let's see your other project. What else do I have? Back to the screen of death for a second. Death screen. Death screen. Screen of death. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know if I can show that. I can show this. Oh, it's in the track. It's literally in the effing track. All right. You guys are done being in timeout. Welcome back. Welcome back. Versa. Don't look. Don't look. that was the worst one so far. Oh no. Who's ready for the world premiere, world exclusive? You're tuning in to Crumbo Radio. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? This is a super old version. Let's open the project. Let's open the project. Cinematic. See, I remember when I name something weird, at least I remember what it's called. Air horn, baby. You are tuning in to Crumbo Radio. Crumbo Radio, Crumbo. I need like a soundboard with all the goofiness. All right, gotta turn off the AC. I'm cold. Crumbo in the morning. Crumbo in the morning. Yeah, look at all these references. You're not allowed to see. Blep, blep. Blep, 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 blep. This is the first song I've done that is all serum. Or no serum. It's all just that audio warping. So I started with this one sound. which is actually 115 audio. Oh dear. 15 audio 1. And it was like the oldest version of this. Oh God, what am I doing? I have too many sounds. Something like one of these, and I just kept like this initial kind of patch of it is all just like mad fucked with. But yeah, even like these bits are all. Like this 28 up. That was the magic number. I didn't mess with this or do that by ear. I just knew to put this exactly to 28. Big brain. If you're not big brain, if you're small brain, I would appreciate if you just leave the stream. Oh, Siri, what's up? I'm good right now, thank you. So yeah, a lot of just tuning by ear. And little bits like that. All of this is from the same sample, but they're all kind of stretched in different ways. I really like this percussive bit, and I kind of clipped these a little harder than I should have, and even have like other cuts of this, so it's kind of all together, got this cool swinginess to it, like whop whop. So it's kind of like I don't know. There's a lot of this Neuro stuff going on down here, and I named this folder Ha because I just wanted to like drag it into other project files because I use this a lot. This part actually drives it a lot, and it's just the same portal bases, like mega stretched, but I flattened these, I believe. This one might not be. Nope, they're flattened. So let's rinse it really quick. So yeah, the crunchy stuff is my favorite, but I did like a little response flow. This is the one I posted a clip of on Twitter. That sub is fucking loud. Turn that down like a tiny bit. I actually got this vocal from like a scratch pack or something.
I'm a spit till tongue tied. I'm a spit till I'm tongue tied. I'm a spit till.
So here's the OG.
I'm a spit till I'm tongue tied with no breath left.
And then I like. So it took me a really long time to actually get that like warping on point.
I'm a spit till I'm tongue tied with no breath left.
I'm just using like a Sultan kick, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't know why there's a frequency shifter on it. That makes me angry. It makes me angry that there's a frequency shifter on my kick when I don't want it there. I didn't ask for this. Yeah, I'm not even doing like the normal kind of group processing I would on my drums here. It's just meld a saturator, and that's it. Good sample selection. Bada bing, bada boom. The Samplifier collab's not ready to play on stream yet. I gotta stem it out for him. I've been like super lazy on doing that. You guys want to hear the last drop? Little triplet action. Yeah, look at that. None of that is ready. It's actually, I think that's when I rage quit. That's when I was like, cool. Song didn't want to cooperate. Trash can. No, I'm not going to trash this. I'm just going to mess with it. Nope, I like the drums mixed how they are. Big brain utility sidechain, and I'm also sidechaining in through the bus. So to the shadow realm for a second. See what else I got. And we're gonna call it quits. Quitsies. I guess I'll save it. Sometimes I produce with like soft clip, but like in this particular project and like some of my favorite mixdowns like Stomp and Rapture were just clipping super hard, you know? Yeah, I do reverse stuff into snares all the time, like Foley and mechanical sounds. Mainly soft clipper, I think, is the best bet for master stuff. Oh shit, are you guys still in the shadow realm? You guys want to hear this collab with Effin? You fools, you've walked right into my trap. You guys know the horn I want. Horn? Woo! Let's go! Crumbo Radio. You're now tuning in. Shout out to Effin. Dude's crazy.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I gotta actually, so this song says a bad word right here.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, right there too, so. I'm ahead of it. I'm one step ahead. Always.
What the fuck you want? What the fuck?
I'm gonna make that the actual render. You guys want to hear the second drop? The second drop is Crumbo. The first drop was his.
What the fuck you want? I got the.
This is the portal glitches coming into play right here. Listen to all these bad boys. This the awooga from the dolphin ones would be funny. I definitely got some dolphin sounds, you know. That's the South African dolphin, indigenous to the south of Africa. What is that? All right, we're making a bass out of it. Look at this beautiful waveform. I just got chills looking at it. It sounds like someone ripping ass with like, oh no. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is my last thing, so we're going all out. Oh, I don't know what to do here. All right. No stretchy. No stretchy. We'll keep the fartiest part of it. I never thought I would use the word fartiest before. I could listen to that on loop all day. Can you have the dolphin snare? See where it's from. And then you can go get it. Ba 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 da da da. I will give you the dolphin snare. It's from some folder someone gave me. Now we're getting there. Oh dear. Format filter. Can you just like, yeah, give me some of this. Hang in there. Hang in there. We're gonna get somewhere with this. Really good. This is really good. Probably my best sound I've ever made. Can we get a D in the chat for dolphins? Okay, chill. Ooh! When times get going tough, you just gotta do the damn thing. Sometimes if you put some bandpass shit before the crystallizer and OTT, you can get like a really reduxy. That's evil. Stop that. Stop all this. Okay. I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down, sir. How does that happen? Someone explain to me the science behind this. Oh wait, I don't need to know. Big brain. Dolphin step. Equals MC Yoy. It's cool. Yeah, someone call Eliminate. Tell him I'm angry at him for not being here. Ooh. That could be a cool, like, fill bass, too. It's got a really cool stereo to it. Let's save it. Sometimes when I get something really weird like this and it's very automation driven, you can just take the group folder and drop it in like a folder you have. Like I have a Kompany bits folder, and in here I have like fully like parts from my songs that I didn't want to like change, you know, like ALS is like part of the project file that you can actually just drag right in. Because like say I had this weird LFO laser pluck thing here, and it sounded really cool the way I had it, and I want it exactly like that. I just drag the ALS over, and then because you can see there's some filter shit going on here, so something like that. And then I have it exactly like that when I want it, and I can kind of mess with it further. It's really muddy. I never realized how muddy things were until I started working on speakers again. I was like, dude, I suck on headphones. Which sucks because that's what I'm using 80% of the time. Sound design writer's block. I find I will break when I mean, you have a bunch of things you can do. A lot of the stuff I did in this stream wasn't even in a synth. It was weird audio stuff. So a lot of OTT saturation, stretching, layering with different pitched versions, you know, messing with where it sits in the stereo field, messing with things like crystallizer, portal, disperser, serum effects, formant filtering, texture warping. You know, it's all, I feel like a lot of people get really tunnel visioned on like writing a dope synth that's coming out of Serum, and then it sounds better with the post-processing on it, but it's like, man, I can't remember the last time I used that as my main source of like my synth workflow. I've been really audio kind of centered lately. Quick lead from Serum. Serum. Why not quick lead from Dolphin? Quick lead from Dolphin just happened. Where were you for the Dolphin? We're going to wrap this up. Unless I have one more ID for you guys. Shadow Realm. BRB. I have something at 140. But I don't know if I should release it, so let me show you guys. Yo, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was so random and spontaneous and cool and quirky and informative, hopefully. It's cold in the dark. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like putting you there. It's not like something I enjoy doing, but you know, it's like when you have to go to the grocery store and you can't take your dog with you. I'm not saying you guys are dogs, but I'm saying you're like Animals that belong to me. Mouthale, ladies and gentlemen. Let me find the air horn. I'm panicking because I can't find the air horn. There it is. All right. Thank you guys for tuning into Crumbo Radio, though. It's been a really good session. Thank you guys, really. Yeah. If you guys want to drop a K in the chat, I'm not saying I won't kick you if you don't. Actually, we're going to need a K in the chat, and then I'm going to need an F in the chat because this project file is completely broken. But I think I might be able to salvage enough of it to do something cool. So enjoy, guys. This is the last plate I'm playing today. I'm going to go through all the comments on the actual video itself to see what I should do for tutorials and the next live stream, because I don't want to just sit and like, this was just such a dick around session. So let me know what you guys want to see. Here it comes. Cheeky outro. Next stream when? Next stream when I'm off tour. I go on tour on Wednesday. I'm going to be meeting up with Nightmare on the bus tour. We're going to be hitting a bunch of dates. Hopefully I can see a bunch of you guys there, meet a bunch of you guys. You know, I do go to the merch booth or like out in the crowd after my set, like 80 to 90% of the time. Sometimes I'm really tired or really worn out and I'm just not feeling it. But like, I always try and make the most of it, you know, meet as many of you guys as possible. You know, the face-to-face connection and getting to chill and talk about the show and just hang out for a little bit is really cool. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. It's going to be really sick. I saw a lot of people asking about what sound system he's going to bring. I'm not entirely sure, but I know it's insane. I know FN was just on it and the shows looked crazy. So I'm going to use these last couple of days I have off to just try and like get some new ideas going, because I have a lot of stuff that's really playable right now that I'm just going to try and finish up. But yeah, thank you guys a lot for tuning in. Cool. The only suitable outro is just to go full crumbo for a second. Soak it in while you still can. All right. Bye-bye.